This training will cover the basics of weights and measures. Ingredients are measured in two ways, weight and volume. A recipe can indicate the amount of each ingredient in weight, volume, or sometimes both. How do we measure weight? Weight is measured in pounds, ounces, kilograms, and grams. How do we measure volume? Volume is measured in cups, pints, quarts, fluid ounces, milliliters, liters, tablespoons, and teaspoons. The word ounces is used when measuring both weight and volume. For weight, the unit used is ounces. 16 ounces equals 1 pound. For volume, the unit used is fluid ounces. 8 fluid ounces equals 1 cup. We can avoid confusion by using cups, pints, or quarts instead of fluid ounces. What tools are used to measure volume? Measuring spoons are used for small volumes. In the US, we use teaspoons and tablespoons. In most of the rest of the world, they use milliliters. For easy conversion, a teaspoon is about 5 milliliters and a tablespoon is about 15 milliliters. Use flat-topped measuring cups to measure dry ingredients by volume. The reason they have flat tops is so you can even them out to get an exact measure. It is common to run a knife or other flat objects over the top of the measuring cup to get an exact amount. Graduated dry measures also have flat tops for level, even measurements. However, they also have visual measures along the sides to accurately measure ingredients. Graduated dry measures come in cups, pints, and quarts. Graduated liquid measures have a pouring lid instead of a flat top. They can be clear so you can read them from a flat surface or ringed so you can look down into the measure to see the liquid level. Scoops or dishers measure volume and should be thought of as a measuring cup used for serving. Just like any measuring tool, care needs to be taken to ensure an accurate measure. A heaping scoop will be a different volume than a level amount. For dishers that are standardized to US measurements, the disher number indicates how many of the scoops are needed to make a quart. The larger the number, the smaller the scoop size. Ladles are also volume measures. They measure fluid ounces even though they are often marked with just ounces. Spoodles are a combination of a spoon and ladle. They allow for more volume control with the convenience of a spoon-like utensil. They are usually marked by the volume they hold in fluid ounces as well. A volume measuring tip is to always measure ingredients in the largest appropriate container. The only exception for this rule is flour. Don't measure flour in volumes larger than 1 quart because flour can easily pack. What tools are used to measure volume? A digital scale is used for small size measures such as when measuring serving portions like 2 ounces of meat. Traditional scales weigh ingredients that range from 2 to 50 pounds. For example, when preparing a baked grain that calls for more than 1 quart of flour, you would weigh the flour and the recipe rather than use a volume measurement. When weighing a product that is in a container, it is important to remove the weight of the container to determine the weight of the product. Tare weight is the weight of an empty container. To determine the tare weight of a container, first make sure the pointer of the scale is on 0, then place the empty container on the platform of the scale. Record the weight of the empty container. Next, to determine the weight of the ingredient in the container, place the ingredients in the container and weigh the filled container. Record the weight of the container and ingredients. Finally, subtract the weight of the empty container from the weight of the container with the ingredient to obtain the weight of the ingredients only. What is the difference between using weights and measures in cooking? In recipe and meal preparation, weighing is faster and more accurate, but requires a kitchen scale. Volume uses common kitchen measuring tools, and in US home recipes, volume is more common than weight. When measuring for child care meals, The meal pattern requires weight for meats, cheeses, nuts, and seeds. For grains, we use Exhibit A. For most grains, it is weight, but for cooked pastas, cooked grains like rice or oats, and ready-to-eat cereal, we can use volume or weight. When measuring fruits and vegetables for serving, measure in volume. When purchasing fruits and vegetables, you often will need to convert to weight. For peanut butter, yogurt, and milk, you will use volume. Several charts would be helpful to have in your menu planning binder. These resources include the decimal equivalents of commonly used fractions, conversion from ounces to pounds, volume equivalents for liquids, and comment abbreviations. You are now ready to measure ingredients by weight and volume. Thank you for your participation in this training. This training was funded using U.S. Department of Agriculture 2018 Training Grant Funds awarded to Idaho Department of Education to provide training to sponsoring organizations, center CACFP employees, and daycare home providers.